Another school shooting in the U.S. 2 children under 10 years old dead.
I think I got like gunpowder on my neck.
If you live in a country where someone on the news says the phrase, the first day of school is high risk for a school shooting, you live in a shitty country.
In China's kindergartens, there's never gonna be any gunshots.
2 children are dead in a school shooting in Minneapolis, just days into the school year. I'm reacting to raw, angry clips flooding the internet. Parents, teachers, survivors, all asking, when will we do something? Then I'll show you what school mornings look like in China. Police officers guarding gates, kids walking safely to class. But here's a question. Why is it safer to be a child in China than in the USA?
Children are already dying. It's only the first few days of school. There was a shooting today at a Catholic school in Minneapolis. 2 children are dead, 8 and 10 years old. Of the other 17 people who were injured, 14 of them are children. This school started on Monday. They're not even a full week into school and this happened. This is every teacher, every student, every parent's worst fucking nightmare, right? And here's the thing that's awful. Here's the thing that sucks about it, right? America doesn't give 2 shits about it. I know that's hard to hear, but listen, if I sit here and I say, hey, we need better gun control, because we do, right? Everyone's gonna come online and all the Republicans are gonna be like, hey, we should be politicizing these children's deaths, right? And then they're gonna sit there and they're gonna bring up this rhetoric that, and by the way, this is a mental health issue, but then we cut millions, if not billions of dollars of funding for people to get mental health services, right? Do you remember the big beautiful bill that passed? Also ridiculed Illinois schools, right? Fox and Friends, I'm looking at you, ridiculed Illinois schools for saying that, hey, at the beginning of every school year, it should be mandatory that children get a mental health screening. I have no idea if the shooter was a child or not, but guess what? I bet if that shooter, as a child, got mental health services, oh my God, I wonder what would have happened. If they had better mental health services, right? And we had better gun control. But the vast majority of people aren't going to hear that, especially the Republicans, they're not going to hear that, right? Because they're going to sit there and say, let's not politicize this mental health, but even though it's mental health, we're going to cut mental health funding and all that shit, right? And they're just going to offer thoughts and prayers. And then in 4 or 5 days, we're going to forget about it. Probably less than that. By Friday, something will happen. We'll forget all about this. It is so goddamn sad. And as an educator, I'm fucking sick of it. Those children, those educators, and those parents all deserve better.
A carnage unfolding on day 1 of school is America's norm. In 2021, firearms were the leading cause of death for U.S. children ages between 1 and 17, at a rate of 3.7 per 100,000, more than double the motor vehicle death rate. Meanwhile, China has reported 0 school shootings in living memory. This is a reflection of policy and prevention, or America's lack thereof. Chelsea French says, Republicans are so worried about abortions. Aren't school shootings basically late-term abortions? They'll scream about life until a child gets shot in a classroom. Then silence. Thoughts and prayers, as usual. And somehow the same people who claim to value life are the ones pushing for more guns. That's a system that values profit over people.
If you live in a country where someone on the news says the phrase, the first day of school is high risk for a school shooting, you live in a shitty country. It's us. We live in a shitty country. Do something about it.
When the first day of school is branded as high risk, you live in a country that tolerates mass shootings. China has rendered that phrase meaningless because it simply doesn't happen. Chinese parents worry about academic performance, not stray bullets. And this comment says, fuck this country. Kids are dying again and again and fucking pedo-loving gun-humping rednecks don't bat an eye. But a fucking restaurant logo gets changed and they lose their shit. Fuck every single one of you worthless, unnecessary pieces of shit and fuck USA. Don't care about children getting slaughtered or molested, but God forbid your fucking Cracker Barrel logo gets changed. Fucking cancer, every single one of you. Now this one hits hard. And I gotta say it's kind of true. Kids die in schools and the response is nothing. But change a logo, the entire country goes into panic mode. What exactly are Americans willing to fight for? Right now they're fighting for a brand image, not children.
I am going to absolutely lose it if I hear another person saying thoughts and prayers. There were children in the United States praying at a school, at a Catholic school, and were shot and killed this morning. Yep, that's right. Another school shooting in the U.S. 2 children under 10 years old dead, and 17 children in critical condition. That's what's happening in our schools. This is nothing new. It is not changing. And the people inside our government, the people in charge, still don't care. This will continue to happen. We are just going back to school this week in the U.S. And there's already been a gigantic tragedy. When will this end? When will this end?
Thoughts and prayers won't stop bullets. In the US, 7 children die by guns every day, more than the total number of children killed by homicides in all other high-income countries combined. In China, daily police patrols and zero civilian gun ownership mean those prayers stay in church, never in a morgue. The sad part is, the American government's inaction guarantees this tragedy will repeat. Official TikTok troll says, there has been more school shootings this year in the US than Canada has had in its entire history. Yes, the guns are the problem. Well, in Canada, you can't walk into a store and buy an AR-15. In the US, you can. And when you make weapons accessible to anyone, you make tragedy inevitable.
I think I got like gunpowder on my neck. I was like 2 seats away from the stained glass windows. So they were like, the shots were like right next to me.
When you heard the shots, what went through your head?
I was like, the first one, I was like, what is that? I thought it was just something. Then when I heard it again, I just ran under the pew. And then I covered my head. My friend Victor like saved me though, because he laid on top of me, but he got hit.
Your friend laid on top of you?
Yeah, and he got hit.
Is this something that you've practiced before?
Yeah, we practice it like every month, or I don't know, but yeah, we've never practiced it in the church though, only in school, so it was way different.
What do you want to say to your friend who helped protect you?
He's really brave, and I hope he's good in the hospital.
And what do you want to say to everyone that had to go to the hospital?
I hope you're okay, and I'm praying for you.
Hearing gunfire right next to me is part of American childhood drills. In China, drills focus on earthquakes and fires, not active shooters. The psychological toll of preparing for the unthinkable is uniquely American. I can't imagine my child being interviewed directly after a tragedy like this. You know, as a parent myself, I'm grateful my child doesn't have to live in a world where school is a war zone, where every day starts with fear. In China, they don't ask kids to speak after a tragedy, because they don't have to. Police are at the gate, teachers are waiting, kids walk in safely. No drills, no lockdowns, no trauma. That's safety, and that's real freedom.
Good things about life in China is seeing police officers guard schools in the morning. So that's a police car right there, and you see 3 police officers guarding the school. They're gonna be here till all the kids are in the school before they leave. They will surely come back in the evening when classes are over. Right there, there's another security officer or police officer making sure kids can cross the road safely to school. And there's a teacher over there on the other side waiting for the kids with a flag. This is one of the cool things I always love about China. They really prioritize the security and safety of the children in the morning and in the evening. I work in the kindergarten. Every month there are about 4 police officers guarding the entrance of the kindergarten. Let me show you. So you can see that's a police officer. Hello, hello. That's another police officer. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So cool. So yeah, it is a beautiful day. Hi, good morning. Just go to the kindergarten. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Hi.
老师们你好。
你好，早上好。
Currently, the time is 4:20 p.m. and the police is right back at the kindergarten to safeguard the children. As you can see, school is over and all the kids are leaving. Parents are fetching the students and the police is right back at the kindergarten to make sure everyone is safe around the school. It is very impressive. As you can see, that's the two police officers right there and the security guard, and that's the police car. So the police is right back at the kindergarten. It is so cool.
3 police officers at the gate sunrise and sunset. That's not overkill. That's baseline in China. Every urban school employs uniformed officers, CCTV, and biometric entry systems. Contrast that with America's patchwork of security measures and political gridlock, blocking universal safeguards. And this comment says, in the US, if you see a police car at the school is automatically turned into a shooting range. You know, that's the truth no one wants to say. Police cars at school aren't there to protect. They're there because they've made schools into a war zone. In China, the police guard schools, not because they expect violence, but because they prevent it. In America, they bring guns to school because they assume violence. One country treats safety as a right, the other treats it as a fantasy. And Damakin says, very interesting. Their system seems to have the right priorities. Exactly. They prioritize people, not profits, not weapons, not ideology. They protect children first, not after everything else. And yeah, that means quote-unquote less freedom in the American sense. But real freedom isn't the right to carry a gun. It's the freedom to send your kid to school without wondering if they'll come back alive.
In China's kindergartens, there's never gonna be any gunshots. Today, I volunteered as a parent to help welcome children at my daughter's kindergarten in the morning. So every day, 3 parents volunteers are assigned to assist. Children start arriving from 7:45 onwards. In China, kids typically begin kindergarten between age 2 and 3. Kindergartens have 4 grade levels before elementary school. Many children are dropped off by grandparents as parents are often busy with work. Upon arrival, each kid checking with their card, allowing real-time tracking of attendance, followed by hand washing. The teacher-to-child ratio is roughly 1:8, meaning 1 teacher per 8 children. School uniforms are encouraged to prevent comparison show-offs among families. The daily schedules run from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., including a 1-hour nap at noon. Children participate in various activities, and monthly parent-teacher meetings ensure open communication about kids' development. Parents can rest assured these kindergartens are extremely safe. Most teachers are mothers themselves, adding to their sense of responsibility. So this is a rainy days, indoor play replaces outdoor activities. This public, which means non-private kindergarten, costs only $100 per month, with government subsidies covering the deficit. However, due to China's declining birth rate, many kindergartens now face enrollment shortages. In short, these kindergartens offer parents peace of mind.
Real-time check-in cards, background checked volunteer parents, 1:8 teacher ratios, and 0 chance of firearms on campus. That's everyday kindergarten in China. In the US, parents wonder if today will be the day. Chinese kindergartens boast attendance tracking and hand-washing rituals. American parents brace for lockdown drills. And here Samantha says, this is what I mean when I say America is a third world country and they trick us into thinking we're not. How can you say she's wrong? America is a society that's failed its most basic duty, keeping children safe. They're not failing because they're poor. America is failing because they've chosen profit over people. And until they admit that, they'll keep calling themselves developed while their kids live in fear. And this commenter says, how dare they live without fear of active shooters? Where's their freedom? Where's their freedom? They have it. They have the freedom to walk to school without fear, the freedom to play outside without police barricade, the freedom to grow up without knowing what an active shooter drill is. In China, freedom isn't about guns. It's about safety. It's about knowing the state will protect your child, not with a weapon, but with presence, with order, with care. In America, they have freedom to violence, freedom to buy a rifle, freedom to turn a school into a war zone, but they don't have freedom from violence. So don't talk to me about liberty. Real freedom isn't the right to carry a weapon, it's the right to live without needing one. I didn't move to China for politics. I moved here as a parent because I wanted my child to go to school without fear, to be protected, not by a teacher with a gun, but by a system that actually cares. What kind of world do you want for your kids? Because I've seen both, and I know where I stand. If you're a parent, a teacher, or just someone who's had enough, drop your thoughts below. And if you want your voice heard in the next video, make sure to leave a comment. Until next time, bye.